What if the most important relationship to having impact, feeling successful inside, and most and for all feeling fulfilled is not the relationship with your clients, with your family and your friends, but it is the relationship that you have with yourself? Because let's be honest, even that we accomplish a lot and we are high achievers, there seems often something missing. And this is very much related to the oftentimes very mean and nasty relationship we have inside of ourselves with ourselves. I say that when we are not having a good and healthy relationship and connection to our true inner self, whatever we achieve in the outer world will feel hollow, or it will only last a very short amount of time till we have the same kind of feeling, searching for something what we might not even know what it is, and it is missing and it does not feel very good. I know a lot about these negative loops in the mind and having negative emotions about myself. And I know also from the work with hundreds of people as a therapist and coach that many accomplished people struggle and fight this inner battle with themselves. And even that this is a crisis, it's a massive opportunity for us to grow. And I know that, my friend, because I have been there too. I have been fighting against myself for many years. I hated myself for all the things that I started and did not really push through to an end. I was miserable about all the mistakes and failures that I created. I had lots of self-pity about who I am and what is happening in my life. And then because I knew that this is not correct, because I'm actually having a quite good life, I was shaming myself for feeling self-pity. There is this vicious circle, this downward spiral where all the chatter in the mind can go really crazy when we are not able to tap into our empowering connection with ourselves. All of that led for me to anxiety, depressive episodes, addictions. I had to cope with a lot of different stuff because I tried to push all of that aside. Pretty bad, right? But in all of these questions and in all of these realizations, something remarkable happened. I was able to learn to understand myself better, and I was able to learn to build a deeper and more profound connection to myself and realize more of who I truly am. A quote from Aurobindo: "True knowledge is not attained by thinking. It is what you are, it is what you become." And to make it clear, no connection with ourselves, no fulfillment. It's very hard to attain fulfillment if we are not in connection with ourselves. Most of the advice out there is trying to fix the mind. But the true seat of power is when we start to trust into our spirit and not just into our thoughts. Sitting on this seat is like sitting on the tiger. We have to learn it. It's not a natural skill that we just get from somewhere. It is something that we have to train. As high achievers, we are accomplishing a lot. You do that too, and that's fine. But high achievement often masks disconnection and inner confusion. Many of my high-achieving clients are in their 40s, and then they come into a crisis, midlife crisis it is called. They start to ask some tough questions. Do I really want to be in this long-term relationship? Why do I do a job that I don't really love anymore? I don't want to be the leader all the time. Why do I have to be the leader? Or also a classic, I have earned a lot of money and still I'm feeling lonely or disconnected and I don't know what to do. When those questions come up, we cannot just look away. And even that this is a crisis, it's a massive opportunity for us to grow. And I know that, my friend, because I have been there too. So what is needed to help us out of the crisis, one of the cornerstones, is to have a clear and defined and powerful vision for yourself and your life. A vision that is built on your values, on your purpose, what is meaningful to you in life. And of course, a vision that is aspirational and empowers you to have new experiences that bring you in this deeper relationship with yourself. If you like to understand better where you are standing with your vision and your purpose in life, check out my free Reality Designer scorecard. The link is in the comments. It's a 3-minute quiz and you get insights into where you are standing and what is important to you and where you have maybe blind spots. It's completely free. It's a very valuable thing to do. So now you understood, oh, I'm not in a good connection with myself. You are creating a vision. You are building on your ideas and values and your purpose. And you say, I'm ready to go. I want to build this relationship. I want to have a life that is more meaningful and fulfilling. And what happens? The inner critic starts going on. Negative inner self-talk is super toxic and can ruin lives. I give you something to play with here. We try to understand the mind on neurological levels, and that's super important. But in my experience, there is something deeper that we have to take into account, and that is the energetic dimension of the human being. From our early age on, we have learned to identify with our thoughts. But I say it's much more complex than that. And one idea that changed a lot for me and many of my clients is this. Not everything that you think is your thoughts. You have to understand that your consciousness is like an ecosphere. It is not standing on its own, but it can be influenced from all sorts of things. Through all of history, wisdom teachings are clearly saying that there are negative influences that capture the human mind. And I call these foreign energetic imprints. And I'm not saying that every negative thought you have in your mind is something external, but if you recognize dark negativity and cruelty and unfairness in your mind, just try out to say when it appears, this is a lie, and detach from it. And I don't mean suppressing it, but I mean observing it and getting a little bit more distance to it. This is a lie. I don't believe in it. When something is taking place in your mind where you recognize, man, that's not what I am thinking. This is not who I am. Just say, this is a lie, and let it go, distance yourself from it. And if you are doing that consistently, you can break a lot of negative feedback loops that are happening inside of your. When we are moving out of the stark negativity, we also have the chance to build more self-compassion. And I know self-compassion is a big word, and it's a high mountain to climb for many of us. Self-compassion for me is really much based on radical honesty with yourself and the way how much you are able to look into the mirror. It's also based on discipline, the way you are treating yourself and the way you are in charge with the things that are really important to your life. And then this is combined with self-forgiveness, with kindness and generosity in the way you are treating yourself and in the way you are meeting your true needs. When I started to come into a better relationship with myself and I started to build on self-compassion, I recognized that I had to forgive myself massive amounts of stuff. In the self-help scene, there is this idea of a gratefulness journal, and I love this idea, but just having this kind of journal was not enough. I had to do a lot of really tough work. You have to face yourself. This is not an easy route, my friends, but if you're doing that, if you're stepping into this process of really working through the deep and dark and difficult things that are part of you and that wants to be seen, this is the perfect step towards more self-compassion and a better relationship that is based on a true connection and a true respect that you give to yourself. I can just say when you are doing this kind of work and you are unloading the heavy weight from your heart, this is one of the most humbling experiences that we can make as human beings. Catharsis means clearing, and we need some sort of intensity as human beings to get forward, to move forward, to progress, to go beyond what we thought is possible and is our limitation. The next powerful stage that we are coming into after we have built some self-compassion is self-trust and intuition. when we are building this unbreakable, unshakable, rock-solid connection with ourselves, whatever is happening in life, whatever kind of challenges will come up, we will be rock solid. And it doesn't mean that we are not feeling anything anymore or that everything is funny and easy. No way. But this deep, unshakable, unbreakable connection that we have built helps us to process and move forward with more conviction and confidence. Trusting yourself is also connected with intuition. And I don't mean this vague gut kind of feeling. I mean like the higher intuition that is taking place when you are allowing your consciousness to grow and expand, and you are suddenly able to process different information coming in. You just know what is right and what is wrong for you. You just understand better what kind of people you want in your life and which you shouldn't have any contact with anymore. There are these glimpses and insights. There is this guidance that is taking place. And this higher intuition that guides us when we are in connection with ourselves is pure gold. Trusting yourself and your higher intuition is so important because you are unveiling and uncovering your sweet spot. And this sweet spot is the rock amidst the chaos. Whatever kind of challenges and trouble is happening in your life, when you are located in this sweet spot, you are located in the center of self. And being in the center of self is not just sitting on the tiger, but it's riding the tiger. And of course, the tiger is still a wild animal, and you might fall off from time to time and feel the claws in your face. But through deep introspection and the deep inner work, we practice and practice and practice, and we become masters in it. This is what is called mastery. In my coaching programs, I always do exactly that, building on the strongest asset that you have, your self-relationship. Because without this deep and profound self-relationship, all of the other things are worth nothing. Now it's up to you. And this path is not the easiest. Everyone is selling easy these days, and it's a lie that this is easy. But it's so valuable to build this true connection with yourself, because when you are doing that, everything in your life becomes more fulfilling, is enriched, becomes deeper. And you cannot get that anywhere else. It's because you are investing the time and you are having the courage to face yourself, to see yourself, to explore yourself, and to make this commitment to have a compassionate, trustworthy, fulfilling, and beautiful friendship with yourself. How great is that? Share in the comments what is the hardest part of building a good relationship with yourself. Or what makes it easy? What are the routines that you do to have a great relationship with yourself? And by the way, if you are struggling with negative relationships with others, check out my video about relationships, where I'll talk a little bit about how to find out if it's worth going forward in the relationship or it's time to let go. See you in the next video.